Hi everyone, Alyssa Wyant here. Today I'm going to be presenting our research questions as well as our methods section to the human brand image research study that we did. Our primary goal of our study was really to understand how Southwest Airlines uses Twitter to engage consumers, but then more specifically, understanding whether or not Southwest uses human brand image to catch consumers' attention, engage them, and then empower those consumers to take action. So we came up with the following questions to address in our study to help us better understand their tactics. The first question was, what are the categories that Southwest Airlines uses on Twitter? The purpose of this question was to evaluate what types of communications were being sent out to consumers by Southwest Airlines to see if there was or if there wasn't a trend of communication types deployed by the airline. So that led us to question 2, which Southwest airline tweets by category get the most consumer engagement? The purpose of this was really to have a better understanding and a better idea of what categories of tweets seem to get the most interaction from consumers and from their followers of their Twitter account. The third question was, to what extent does Southwest Airlines use human branding on Twitter? Once we were able to really determine which of these categories could be attributed with human brand image, we would be able to evaluate the extent that Southwest Airlines uses human brand image as a primary communication tactic through their social media. Which led us to question 4. Does Southwest Airlines use human brand image as a prime component of their Twitter strategy? We felt this was an important question because of Southwest's prominence as a social media brand. This question was specifically evaluated through the use of human representatives, personal pronouns, verbs in imperative form, and then nonverbal cues. For our research study, we used a content analysis as our primary research method. This really allowed us to determine both the types of communication messages sent and to be able to identify whether or not the company represents itself with a human brand image. We used a third party called Dr. Tweety. It was utilized to pull in all the tweets by Southwest during the dates of June 1st through October 29th. Due to the time and budget constraints we were put on, we decided it would be best to only pull the outbound tweets from Southwest's Twitter account, and that resulted in about 199 unique tweets for us to code. The tweets were divided among researchers to review and code, and information from each tweet was organized by the date, the tweet content, the number of retweets, the number of favorites, the description that we classified it as, which I'll get to that in a minute about our classifications, and then the human characteristics that we saw, which was the human representative, verbs in imperative form, and nonverbal cues. The categories that I mentioned were coded by researchers using the following categories. Informational, which we classified as news, investor relations, sponsorship affiliations, flight updates, or just general public relations information. Then we moved to promotional, which we classified and defined as sales, deals, discounts, special offers, and events. Entertainment, which we classified as jokes, poems, images, general enjoyment, just something that doesn't really have a ton of promotional content, but it was just for general enjoyment. And then we moved to product, which we defined as performance, quality, availability, and services that they offer. And then branding, which were just simple brand mentions of Southwest Airlines. We also coded based off Quant's theory using human representation, personal pronouns, which we classified as like I, we, you, us, and then verbs in the imperative form, which they were really asking to take action. So something like sign up, tell us what you think, and then nonverbal cues and abbreviations, which were laugh out loud, maybe something written in all caps, and maybe sounds or something like that. So in order to really streamline the content analysis, the data from the Dr. Tweety was exported, and then researchers used a shared editable spreadsheet to code all of the tweets. Then we coded each of the tweets, and we were able to review other researchers' coding to ensure we were among agreement to prevent bias. So that's our method section and how we conducted this study. and Kayla Snow will be telling you about what we found. Thanks so much.